UVA Darden.
Good Disruption, a lively discussion between UVA Darden School of Business professors Yael Grushka-Cocaine and Mike Lennox on cutting-edge technologies and practices that are challenging the status quo.
Welcome to our special sub-series on disruptors. In this episode, Ralph Sampson. And now over to Mike and Yael.
Hey, Yael.
Hey, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I am so excited because we are now pioneering a new theme within our Good Disruption podcast around good disruptors.
I am so excited about this. I think we're in our third year of our podcast, if I'm not mistaken, Mike, and I don't know if anybody's keeping track at all, but finally, our time, we've been wanting to do this for a while, and I'm excited that it's here and that we're really going to try and do this, talk about disruptors and those incredible, inspirational people that make things happen, right?
Yeah. Do you want to define for us what a good disruptor is?
Ooh, good disruptor. I don't know that I would put the word good or bad, or maybe we need to kind of step away from our harsh definitions, but even disruptor, like how do we think about a disruptor? Definitely leaders who change industries or make us think about industries differently, step change the environment around them. I don't know. How are you thinking about?
No, I like that. I mean, we use the term in the positive sense, to be very clear here. So when we think of good disruptors, these are people, like you said, who redefine their fields, who've made contributions in various, aspects of life, and are just, those catalysts that we have in our world. All right, so let me ask you a question here.
Yes.
Do you play basketball at all?
Definitely, I do not. I love to watch it. It's one of those sports that I can definitely watch, and I've been watching it since I've been a very young child, but I do not play. I run, as you know, anything with a ball and coordination is not for me. So I can run and barely that.
So I, to brag, I did play in high school. I played on my high school team. I like to say I was a specialist. They would bring me into the game when we were either down by 20 points or up by 20 points. To preserve the lead or spark a rally.
I got it.
I did lead my team in fouls per minute. Definitely, fouled a lot in the few minutes I would get into the game.
Not sure that that's what you want to be proud of, Mike, but that's
I'll take it wherever I could get it. Well, let me, with no further ado, introduce our guest, who really needs no introduction. He is a legend, certainly a legend at the University of Virginia, but a legend far beyond that, a legend in the NBA, and has gone on to do an amazing amount of different things and contributions throughout his life. We're just absolutely thrilled to have Ralph Sampson here with us. Just quickly, Ralph, three-time National College Player of the Year, NBA Rookie of the Year, four-time NBA All-Star, and most importantly, inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame. Again, a basketball legend. But before I let you speak, I want to highlight some more of your recent activities here, which I think.
But before you do that, Mike, can I just say, Ralph, we're so excited that you're here. Charlottesville, while it's small, it is special. And there are very few people that are considered local celebrities, and you are definitely one of them. So we're honored.
I made it to the big time. I'm good.
If you're world famous in Charlottesville,
right.
Your fame goes far, far beyond that. Well, just quickly, in 2008, he joined 76 Capital, which is a sports technology venture capital fund investing in a whole portfolio of different technologies and companies in this arena. He is a entrepreneur in terms of restauranteering, as a restaurant here in Charlottesville. He has something called the Sampson Group that provides business advisory services to companies and others, and most recently announced the plans for the Sampson Basketball Academy, which not only is providing camps and clinics and structural development for young athletes, it also has as part of it just how do you think about your way to success. So I definitely want to talk more about that as we go through this. But first, Ralph, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you guys for having me. Good to be on campus at Darden. It's always good to be up on this side. I always stay here at the Kimpton.
Oh, very good.
Very nice.
Extremely well. Give me a nice suite and a big bed. So thank you guys for all that as well. It's a great place.
Big
great
bed
place.
is very expressive. Well, that actually reminds me of something, a story, a legend about you that I think it has to be true. So, Ralph, you lived on the lawn in your fourth year. I actually lived on the lawn, and I was an undergrad at UVA my fourth year as well. But the story was always they had to remove the closet to make a bed big enough for you to fit in. Is that correct?
Well, as you know, the lawn, you have a sink and a closet to put your clothes, and in between you have a bed.
Right.
The bed was a twin bed, so it did not quite fit. So as a freshman first year, I was in Tuttle, which is no longer there.
Okay.
But now the high-rise dorm, which is
one of the new dorms that's now
it was the new dorm. Yeah, the old dorm's not going away. It was the new dorms there now. The new dorms are the new dorms. So anyway, so we had a suite with like 5 rooms in it, and then I had a mattress made that was a twin mattress, but it was long enough for me to sleep in the room by myself. So we kept that mattress, ironically, and then we put that mattress in the lawn room. Well, I had a good friend of the family make me a bed that would fit that mattress. So they had to take the closet out to fit the room. So we took the closet out and we had a bump bed, basically, but we put drawers underneath so I could put my clothes in. So it worked out. We kept that bed at least 2 years. Yeah. And it was good.
How was it living on the lawn? Did I imagine you attracted a lot of attention living there?
You know, it was something that like how I'm gonna do is during the season and what's going to happen as well. So it was a great concept. I love the lawn. I go back now and I created the Lawn 6 Society.
Yeah.
So I go back every year and meet the person that's in the room. Want to tell them what the secret compartment is and what's under there as well and have the name on it. So that's been the fun ride for me over the last number of years. But
did they put the closet back? Or did
they put the closet back. They put the closet back and then redirect the thing, renovate a little bit. But the fun part was this fall and the spring.
Yeah.
And then so, I wanted to be a regular student. And then so being there, early practice, senior year, I know I'm going pro at the end of the year. So we're looking at it. So I would run from the lawn to University Hall. Then we would run 3 miles, like, okay, great. I was never a great runner, which we have on this podcast, right?
You're referring to Yael, just to be clear, not me.
One or the other, right? So, yeah.
I'm fine taking credit for being the runner in this call. I like
runner,
that.
Yeah. I'm not the basketball player, the runner. You're good.
Yeah.
So back in the day, right, there was University Hall.
Yep.
And then across the street was the track.
Yep.
Period. And then back between there was a running trail.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And it didn't make sense to me to run 3 miles, being 7'1", 7'4", on a running trail where I could twist my ankle. That's was my excuse.
Right.
But Ricky Stokes and the boys would go out, and by the time I got to the trail, they were coming back, and I was still going out. And so we would have breakfast. But it was fun. That was my running days. I tell people all the time, I could never run a mile.
Yeah.
I could run a 2:20. I could never run a mile, but I was pretty good at going up and down the court.
Can I ask, how did your experience as an athlete kind of prepare you to be a business leader? We talk a lot in business school, and we think about there are certain things in somebody's past, like being an athlete. How does that prepare for like an entrepreneurial mindset or a business leadership mindset?
Yeah, great question. I mean, I think the initial thing is the work ethic you have to be in business. It's similar to being an athlete if you want to be a top athlete in the world. That's the first thing I would do. My mother, accountant by trade. My father worked, at a factory that created aluminum windows and doors. So I saw their work ethic early.
From right across the mountains here, right?
Yes, in Harrisonburg. Right there. It used to be called near all the windows and doors you see with metal frames that he made over there many years ago, obviously.
Wow.
God rest his soul. But I could see the work ethic. And then always we had to go to the farm, old time family farm. And in the mornings you would have to go 6 o'clock sometimes and work with your uncles. And then after the afternoon you go, and then we would butcher on Thanksgiving Day or afterwards as well. So you learn the work ethic because you see your mom and dad work. So I learned it at an early age. And then my mother would say, make your 80% better than anybody's 100%. And anything you do. So if it's making your bed, so When I go to hotels, I don't have maids. I make the bed up myself. They leave me towels, whatever, because I need to have it. And I'm very crazy with this. And me and my mom have a fit. We try to challenge each other. She's 88 and doing extremely well. Who's going to wash the dishes first? Who's going to put them away? Still today.
Wow.
And if I put them in the wrong place, she gets mad. Like, this goes over here.
You're always the son. No matter how old you are, you're always the son.
I'm obviously older now, but the competitive spirit is always there. But that work ethic at an early age is very crucial to life anyway, but also to the business world as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. We did an analysis a few years ago about what are the traits of our students that lead to like eventual like work success and the like. And one of them we found as a correlation and probably a causation was being a Division I athlete. Mm-hmm. So our MBA students who were previous Division I athletes, it's predictive.
Yeah, we did a series a number of years ago now with Nestle at the test. It's probably been over 10 years ago now, where they wanted to see athletes in a program that Nestle sponsored and see if they could be a good salesperson at a car dealership.
Huh.
And each and every one, it was 5 guys and there were 3 girls, 3 guys, 3 girls and 2 guys, whatever. And each one got trained and they were the number 1 salesperson in 6 weeks.
That's amazing.
I mean, because they were on time.
Yes.
They were scared to be late because they would get reprimanded one way or another, right? And then they wanted to learn everything they could after the fact.
And I like the work, you tied it to the work ethic and something that came from home and that you had from a young age, which was both a contributor to your success in sports and in business. But maybe there's also something about learning how to deal with failure. I mean, really, no athlete is always successful. There's always and there's lots of stake the stakes are high and you're in those stressful moments and you learn to kind of enjoy the highs, but also deal with the lows. And maybe that also prepares us for business in some way. Is that also something that you got from being an athlete?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I can't tell you how many points I had at any game, but I damn sure can tell you how many turnovers I had.
That's it.
Yeah. And I would go back and watch videotapes, especially when I got to the NBA. I had a coach named Bill Fitch.
Mm-hmm.
Coached up Boston, one up there, one came to Houston, one down there. And he would make me, not only because I would do it at UVA because I was in the communication department here, but I would look at the videotapes all the time. Watching guys play just to get better to see if I could emulate Bill Russell or somebody like that as well. But I learned more as I got to the NBA, where Bill Fitch, my rookie year, would make me sit down for days and days and days and watch Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Kevin Kell play and see how to watch the video and see their mistakes. So I would go back after a game and say, I had these turnovers. Why? Was I prepared? Why not? And I look at the video again.
Yeah.
So my turnovers became my value asset technique because I wanted to see what I did wrong. And then I would go try to perfect that. I didn't have to shoot anymore or whatever, but if I turned over the ball because I couldn't dribble more, I would dribble more. If I didn't do the move the right way that I was taught or that I knew, and I would perfect it. And then I started to coach them many years later. And when they had the IBL International League, we went to the championship in Richmond the first year because I took 2 players, both from Virginia. Junior Bears was one of them. We ran one play the whole series and won the championship.
Because we ran it so well.
We ran it so well because there were different assets to it, right? There were different aspects. And I had benched 2 guys that played in the NBA, and this was a minor league of the NBA. I took 2 guys that played in the NBA, like, y'all didn't want to run a play. And I put Junior Barrows in it, pick down, pop up, shoot. He did it every day, go time, and we're winning. So it's just a unique ability that you can have in the business world, but also as an athlete that tie in there, I think, to be successful. And everybody had their work ethic. My mom had their work ethic.
Yeah.
And so I got it innately. So it's different.
We want to definitely talk about some of the more recent things you've been involved with and what's happening in especially the collegiate sports world. But I've got to ask, that I have you here, a basketball question, right? So when I think about your career and what you brought to the court in terms of your skill set, for a big man, especially your ability to handle the ball, to shoot and do things that perhaps a lot of big guys didn't do back in the day. Now you fast forward and you got like Wemby out there.
Who is that?
So this is my question. Like, how would your game be different if you came up today than back in the 80s?
Well, I made these bold statements early on, and it goes back to my high school coach. I averaged, which I don't know because I didn't keep the start stats, whatever, but I averaged 30 points and 20 rebounds a game in high school. Won three state championships.
I was almost at those.
Almost.
I think it was more like 0-0, but it was.
There's a 30 on it. They had a 30. So
between the two of us, we averaged about 15.
There you go. I'll give you part of mine. But anyway, he taught me at an early age because I got so frustrated because I couldn't get the ball.
Yeah.
And it would be a boxing one or the zone, whatever, and I'd not get the ball. So I would take the ball in a game and dribble up the court deliberately because I was mad, and I would turn it over. And he was left-handed. He would stomp his left foot. He called me stick. You can't do that. You got whatever. But if you want to do it, here's what we're going to do. So he put me on the basketball court with the two point guard and another guard, the two fastest players on our team.
Yeah.
Tony Williams and Tony Carter. And I would have to dribble every day in practice to beat them off the court. If I did that in practice, I'd do it in a game. So I emulated that, and I kept that. It's still in my mind today. If I can do it, then I can do it in a game. So I started there, and then I tell people all the time, my statement was, if I was instilled coming out of high school, I could play in the NBA today out of high school, just because my skill set was there, because the physicality of the game is different.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching the game last night against Houston and the Wizards. Kevin Durant, love him to death, whatever, but they didn't touch any bodies at all as far as physical.
Right.
And then the way we played, you
had to play like Bill Laimbeer.
I had a guy named the meanest guy, the toughest guy I played against. I always tell people, who's the toughest guy? I say myself. Because if I wasn't mentally ready to go, I'd go get my butt kicked. And we fought sometimes during the game as well as whatever, but a guy named Maurice Lucas.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Luke, sweet guy, passed away a number of years ago, but he would punch me in the chest before the jump ball. Like, I'm gonna punch you. I think, Luke, why? and he would be mean, and I didn't know him until the other team, but after he retired, and I retired, we got the guy who said, Big Phil, I'll punch you in the chest because I couldn't catch you on the court. And I knew if I didn't punch you right now, your mindset would have been to take me and run me up and down the court.
Yeah.
So he knew that. So he made a statement right before. So I learned a lot from him after as well. Like when you in business or you're doing something, you make sure you take the first punch.
Yeah.
You make sure you set the tone, you take the punch, and then they got to respond. And then when they respond, you respond back to that. So basketball has a lot of analogies for me in life and the world as well.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, I would have loved to see you in this era. The number of threes you would have hit, things like that.
I probably didn't shoot with 100 threes in my whole career.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then they had the threes in college, my senior year. And Dale Wittenberg won the national title at that point in time. But that was inside the arc. That was inside the key.
Yeah, I remember even seeing a stat when like Larry Bird led the league in 3-pointers, but he shot just a fraction of what they shoot these days.
Oh, no. And he could shoot. He could shoot.
Yeah.
It was allowed to shoot as well.
And I just wanted to say, just talking about athletics and sports, just to kind of chime in there to kind of wrap this segment up as we kind of think about the other ventures. It's interesting that stuff like sports and the world of sports that we think of, I think some folks from the outside might think about it as more static, meaning, the game is the game, right? Like the rules are pretty much the same as they've always been. Running, track is pretty much the same. Different sports, swimming, anything that you pick. Actually, there's been a lot of innovation. Basketball is a good example that the nature of the game and different choices have led players to perfect certain aspects of their capabilities. And that's interesting because we always think about it less dynamic than potentially, let's say, the business world, right? And so it's interesting to reflect on how things have changed over the years. Yeah.
Well, it has changed dramatically as far as the rules of the game, whatever. But it's still the concept: defense, put the ball in the basket, win.
Right.
Period. If you do that, you win. You got to play. They don't play hard anymore. There's no concept of the game the way it used to be.
Right.
Steph Curry's changed the game with threes.
Yeah.
Dramatically. I mean, you can shoot a three from half court. I mean, I don't understand that, but it is what it is. Three worth more than two. But I think people realized even last year when Oklahoma City started the short game again, and they were very dominant. So everybody's trying to emulate that now, coming back, especially with their players. But think about this. In the analytic stage, I was the analytic and the play development coach for the Phoenix Suns for a couple of years. And there were some decent players. And the owner was saying, okay, Ralph, I want you to teach this guy how to shoot a jump hook. And I want him to do that in the game. I think, okay, but Mr. Owner, he's at the 3-point line. And how you going to shoot a jump hook from the freaking 3-point line? So the offense...
That would be an innovation.
It was totally different. But then the analytics started to come in, and we would do it as videotape, and the whole analytics is about 10 years ago now, but it was coming in. But it didn't say in the analytics that it said you shoot from here, and you're more effective by shooting here than over there. Okay, great. It gives you the analytics there, but it doesn't tell you who you're playing defense against.
Right.
And so if you're playing against me and I'm blocking shot, but it doesn't tell you that. It may have evolved since then, but I doubt it. But the analytics is so way off. But it's how the business is valued, right?
Yeah.
The analytics side. They don't value by wins or losses anymore. They value by the value of the team across the whole gamut of the team. And I've been hearing this whole fan experience thing because nobody's really evaluating a team anymore for wins or losses or championships.
Yeah.
It's the fan experience to come in. Can you be entertained? And that raises the value of a team.
Amazing. Yeah. So interesting.
So that's a great segue into kind of the venture capital work and kind of what are you seeing? I mean, there's clearly like the technology piece, you were alluding to this, like the analytics now. I imagine the next phase is going to be, using AI and other modeling techniques to just dive deeper into finding all those little edges that you might have on the court. But I mean, I'm just curious, what are you seeing kind of coming down that's exciting or interesting?
Well, I happened to be at the NBA All-Star game a couple of weeks ago, and it was playing in the Clippers' new arena. And when I say state-of-the-art arena, they left nothing unturned. It's state-of-the-art. So first I walk in, and you won't have a ticket, you have it on your phone. And you have to have their pass key and all. You have to have theirs, so you got to get there and download all this, but I'm not that technical with that. Give me the ticket and me walk in. And then as you walk in, it takes a picture of you.
Yeah.
And it recognizes your face anywhere around the building you go.
Wow.
And it takes your phone with your credit card on it. So if you walk in the concession stand, there's nobody there. You just walk into a gate, it takes your picture, it's your credit card, you walk out with what you got, and it scans everything in your hand.
It's all about the fan experience. I was at the Bomber Group family office in the summer in Seattle, and they were telling us the story because they own the arena there. It's extraordinary what they've done in that. It's all about the fans' experience,
It's
right?
all about that.
Yeah.
Only thing I like is kind of really steep on the sides. So the upper seats are really bad, I think. But the scoreboard is, you look up, it's this huge scoreboard.
Yeah.
You don't have to look at the game because you can't see it anyway from that. But the scoreboard's amazing. And then they were voting on who had the dunk contest. You can push a button on your seat and push it, and you can vote right there from every seat in the building.
That's incredible. I mean,
so anything analytic, anything you want to do. And then the biggest thing there, if you see a seat down below that's empty, you can push in here and it will change your seat to that seat because they want the lower bowl filled for television. So that arena is way, way off the chart.
Yeah, I want to write a case about this. This is a case writing opportunity for
do you think, does this start to distract from the game itself? To your point, like it becomes almost more, it is a form of entertainment, but at the same time, it's sports, there's winners and losers. Or does it just become, again, about the experience and less about the wins and losses?
Well, because the game has changed as far as the physicality or the art of the game, it's got to be more fan experience. I was hearing Magic Johnson about the Dodgers and what they put in. They put $100 million into the Dodger Stadium for the fan experience because the Dodgers are good. Lakers, Dodgers, those big market teams have to be good because, the Lakers just sold for $10 billion.
Yeah.
And the Bucks family. So I'm involved with the Padres trying to do an acquisition there with in baseball, all these teams, and baseball's trying to raise their level of fan experience as well. Football's trying to do that. The new Commander Stadium, when you see that, it's going to be way off the chart. It's going to be just like almost the Clippers.
Okay.
But the fan experience has to be huge there. But what's happening, the fan experience is increasing, but the level of play is decreasing. So think about when LeBron James, 20-some years in the league, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry. I don't know who else is going to watch after that has that type of brand.
Yeah.
Because that's not being built right now with the upcoming players. It's coming. But now the game is worldwide. Now you got NBA Africa, you got NBA Europe. They're expanding like crazy right now, just because of the market value. If you want to invest in an NBA Europe team, it's $1 billion per team.
Already.
They ain't out of the league yet per team.
Yeah.
And so sports right now is taking over the world. And I think if I'm right, sports has always made people bond together.
Yeah.
Across the world, right? So we can compete nicely, but you may like this team, I might like team, but we can talk noise and craziness at that point in time. And at the end of the game, we're like, okay, great, you won. And be at peace with that. So I think sports is going to take over a lot of things this world needs.
You're talking about the passion of the fan base. Clearly for colleges and collegiate athletics, there's a synergy there that just builds affinity and builds these lifelong connections. This world has been changing, but it is dramatically changed in the last few years here. Now with NIL, the ability to pay players, that the universities themselves are paying players, almost unlimited free agency, the transfer portal being available at all times. Maybe I should add, where do you see this going? I mean, is this going to be stable, or is this going to change in your opinion?
It's got to change some. It was the Wild Wild West a couple of years ago, and it's calming down a little bit. It's good and bad. I think players should get paid something. We also think players at the NBA does, because we go through so much, especially football, at a young age with concussions and all the things you may have for life. There's got to be something that has the best insurance after the fact to help them out as well. So I think that needs to change. The second is that when you throw in our money without any financial literacy, because most of these athletes come from situations where they've never seen money, and it's happening over and over and over again. That's what NBA and professional sports leagues don't do a good job of. We're trying to tackle that issue as well, because they go out and they buy whatever they want to buy, and then at the end of the career, they have no money.
Yeah.
So I think that hurts it. But
do you know what is the average tenure for even those who make it to the NBA? It's not.
The NBA is so you got to get vetted out. You got to be in the NBA 5 years, and most of them last 3.
That's 3.
Yeah. And if you get to 5 or 6, you pinch.
I think football is similar.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
But it's not a lot make that right. From that standpoint. So what happens? That whole cycle is off. But the Kentuckys of the world, the Dukes of the world, Carolina was paying guys anyway a long time ago, which we do know, right, from that perspective. And
you said it, not me.
No, I've been there, so I've seen it. So I've seen it around. So, but they were, and then you have to understand the ecosystem of the teams. Kids are not going, I love the ACC, I love UVA basketball, but how in the world is Stanford and those guys in the ACC now? Right. It's called the Atlantic Coast Conference, so we got teams from the West Coast.
All coast.
Yeah, all
So
coast.
it needs to be all coast. It needs to change. They're going to have to change at some point, right? But I'm going to take a kid west, and I got to study and go to class.
Yeah.
And I can do it virtually, which I understand, all that. We didn't have that. But I'm in a hotel room. I'm going to eat, and I'm going to do classes while I'm on the road. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? No, that's not going to happen. And 2, and the weirdest thing I've seen, you may have heard this as well, being at the university, it says I can take classes from Carolina or Duke, whatever, and add to my resume for my degree. I'm like, why the hell do I want to take classes at Carolina when I don't like them? Yeah. So the camaraderie is not there from that perspective. With the portal, especially at any school, when you transfer a kid in for 1 year, the fan base is never going to know that guy personally. Yeah. You might know the name on the back. We had this guy for 1 year, but you never know who that guy's playing. I think that's the drawback for me. After, a number of years being out of UVA as well in the NBA, but I got people here still that I know from when I went to school.
Yeah.
Or who I went to school with.
We started with that, the experience you had living in the lawn and all that whole community. And will this current generation of players
they're going to miss that?
I have to give a quick story that I hope my daughter doesn't mind me sharing. So my daughter is actually a senior at the University of Tennessee. Okay. And she saw Evan Nolte at a game. He was a former UVA basketball player. And she grew up watching UVA basketball, went up to Evan and was like, oh my goodness, grew up watching you and all that. And he was blown away that she knew him. But the Evan Noltes because he was here for, I assume, I think it was all 4 years and became part of that lifeblood community.
Absolutely.
Whereas again, if you're here for, in some cases, just a few months, do you get those relationships? Yeah. What's the implication for I call them kids, but these young adults, long term, if they're moving around? Are they getting an education? Are they getting that affinity?
I don't think they're getting an education, and they're not building camaraderie with their teammates enough, and or the ecosystem at the school. Because 20,000 people, 30,000 people on campus that you get to network with and go out and have fun with and build relationships with is going to be good. Yeah. And so when you get out, who are you going to hang out with? And who you going to connect with in the business world that will give you a decent job or connect you with somebody. That whole system is not going to be good.
So maybe tell us a little bit about what you're doing with the Sampson Academy here and how, like I said, I love the part here about plan your way to success here, kind of in the long run. Please tell us more.
So we've been doing basketball stuff probably 40 years now.
Yeah.
I helped a number of organizations. One's Achievement Unlimited with Fred Whitfield, the president of the Bobcats, with Michael Jones. We helped him start his many years ago. But again, it goes back to my high school coach and teaching kids how to be successful on and off the court. So it started back then with a program called MAP, Motivation, Attitude, and Plan Your Way to Success, on and off the court. So we still do that with kids today. We revamped it over the years. My sons now are helping taking that over. We in Harrisburg with that facility that we teach kids today. But we get kids every day like, I want to go to NBA or I want to play college. Oh, let's start with 8th grade. Let's start with not trying to develop all your skills today.
Yeah.
And you have to think about the situation now. So all the big shoe companies, there's 4 of them that have the best kids in the world. Period. Because nobody's going to make them. NBA has 450 kids, players, right? But every kid in America wants to go to NBA.
Yeah.
You can dream it. I don't want to bust your dream, but let's be real.
Yeah.
And then NIL is the same way. So if you get NIL money and go to the university, get the money, right? Because you're not going to the league.
Yeah.
But you better do something with that money and save it because you never see that type of money again unless you get a job at that level. So it's got a long way to develop with NIL and the whole system, I think, and academics. And I don't think these kids will be educated well enough to be able to do simple things in life because they never experience it.
I did some work with the NCAA, working with their coaches program, and every coach would say this, right? That like 100% of their kids think they're going pro.
All of them.
Like they all think that they're, and they, like you said, you want to have that dream, but the facts are the facts. It's not that many who get this opportunity.
Well, now it's worldwide, right? Usually if you in the United States, you had a chance to go into the NBA. When we were at UVA, we played for 2 years against the Russians, Tichenkov and Sabonis.
Oh.
And I tell people all the time, we played them in Richmond, best games in the world because I wanted to compete on the world stage. We got to do that. But I didn't get to go to the Olympics, so they boycotted it. But we played against those two. And then in the NBA, when I went to Golden State, we had Sharinas Marcelonis that played one of the best European players ever, and then started there, and then it kind of expanded. Now every team has it.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, the NBA is not just a game, it's a business, right? So think about this. They just traded recently Luka from Dallas to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. Why? One, LeBron James is marvelous. LeBron James is aging out the league. Lakers are valued at $10 billion.
Yeah.
So you got to keep their value up. And then Luka go there. His jersey sales worldwide was number 6. And in 5 days, it went to number 1.
Yeah.
Economics, right? So Anthony Davis gets traded. The general manager from Dallas gets reprimanded. Anthony Davis comes. He gets hurt. Now that team's a bust. He gets fired. Anthony Davis now gets traded to Washington. Why? Is he 14, 15 years in the league? That's a bad move for Washington. I love Anthony Davis to death. He's got to get healthy, but now they have to put a team around him so he can play. So it's not the game, it's the business. And then worldwide, you got more people playing overseas to come to the NBA because now it's a worldwide game.
Yeah.
And the only way you can value that team now is to make it worldwide because the economics are off the chart. And then can't get any bigger in the United States. So I have to go overseas. And the NBA will have Las Vegas and Seattle be the 2 new teams in the league within this year, I do believe. Baseball is going to have 2 more teams. Football is set the way it is because they make the most money in sports.
Yeah.
Female sports, that's where the business growth is. Women's sports is where there's a lot of momentum and opportunity for growth, right? Because the market is tapped in many ways.
Well, football found that out quickly because of football and catered to women. For football, for sure, right? And then WNBA is now taking off from that standpoint. But it's not the male anymore, it's the family, but the women are taking the sports to another level for sure.
Yeah. I wanted to ask a little bit about your experience in other industries like the hospitality. You partnered with another one of our alums, Thompson Hospitality Group, that we're familiar with at Darden. And you opened a tap room in Charlottesville, and you experienced that. You've been doing podcasts before Mike and I even started talking about having a podcast. How satisfying is it? Did you enjoy? What did you learn from those experiences, kind of dabbling in some other adjacent industries?
Yeah, Thompson, how we good. I wouldn't have done it without them. Obviously, for no reason, they have a big engine, and they went to Darden, so we collaborated. I was in undergrad, he was in grad when we were here. And I never wanted to be in a restaurant, but I used to own Tony Roma's in Houston, whatever, and I enjoyed that experience. But I owned the real estate. I didn't own the restaurant. I was part of it, but I owned the real estate, which was the best part. And they went selling that over the years. And then when he came back, well, let's do this restaurant in Charlottesville, in Barry's Road. We can do that. We'll call it Ralph's House, Ralph's Tap Room. Okay, we did that. It was a good run for 4 or 5 years, but the market with pandemic, we opened the pandemic year.
Yeah.
That was hard, obviously. It took us a year to get it open because we couldn't get furniture. We couldn't get anything because it was all overseas. It was all on containers, but we got it open. And when you have a big engine around you like that, you can turn stuff around pretty quickly. And so we did, and then we move. And then over the years, we said, okay, great, we want to be at this level, but where's the market now in Charlottesville? And First Watch down the street was doing really well because of breakfast.
Yes.
And Charlottesville proper, the area, the crowd got older, so we had to cater to that. So we changed and pivoted. Within a 3 or 4 week period of time, you can change your pivot and make it a different restaurant, name, image, whatever, and that's powerful, right? So it's milk and honey now.
Yeah.
And I tell them, let's change it because I don't really worry about my name being on something like that because my dad is Ralph Sampson Sr. and that's the biggest one that we got. I got my son is Junior. So we made that pivot. We stayed involved, but we're now doing where we need to be to some extent because we were able to do that. So I look at business like that where you have to make adjustments, and if you can make them quickly on the fly, you're better off than making it over long term because it will cost you less money if you can just build it the right way first and be able to make a pivot into an industry because today's world is totally different. Today it's totally different.
I love that theme. We talk about it a lot in our classes, like an entrepreneurship, the idea of the pivot and having to be responsive to changing.
And that goes to basketball. You got to have a pivot foot. So.
You got to have a pivot foot. That's right.
She would not know anything about that because she's the runner. She know about a pivot foot.
I just run straight. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, unfortunately, we're gonna have to wrap this up. But I'm curious if any last advice to fellow disruptors out there who are whatever field of study or field of that they're working in. What would you give?
Yeah, there used to be coming out a playbook for success, right? If you follow A, B, C, D, and E, and F. This time, this world right now, it's no playbook that you got to take things in order.
Yeah.
You got to be flexible enough, nimble enough, but you also have to build a solid foundation before you start building anything. So you can pivot and you want an extra room or go higher, you want to go wider. Once you build that foundation of education, especially at Darden, number one business school in the world, you have to understand what that's about. And most people, young kids, think it's, I can do it on the phone or I can do it the easy way. And that's not the way it happens. You still got to grind. I don't care if you're doing social media on the phone. You still got to do it and figure it out and make it work because you can post all day long. It doesn't mean anything. If you post at the right time and the right content, then you can be successful. So you have to adjust in this market right now to the market, but you have to grind even more than we did growing up because there was structure. And now there's all this other stuff, analytics, AI, all this stuff happening. And if we had those tools, we would never wrote a paper in college. Typewriter, writing paper. So that's another deal. But technology is taking over, and it's going to get even higher and higher and higher to me.
Well, Ralph, thank you so much for making time and being with us here. Great advice there at the end. Yael, as always, wonderful to be with you.
Wonderful to be with you. Such an inspiration, Ralph. Thank you so much. I love the fact that everything we do, whether it's for our enjoyment in our free time as our kind of recreational activity, or things that we do when we're young in terms of like part of our, what we spend our time perfecting, even professionally or amateuristically, they all weave in together and help shape the leaders that we are in our industries. And I love that theme. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much for having. And the next time you run, is that tomorrow? You're running tomorrow today?
I don't know. Haven't decided yet.
Take the first 20 steps of me, because I won't be one of them. Take the first 20 steps of me.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, let me thank our producer, Gary, our lead researcher, Becky. This is Good Disruption. Have a great day.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good Disruption is a podcast from the University of Virginia Darden School of Business.
Darden.